welcome back.
Hey, Stanley.
Yeah, George?
How'd you like your own TV show?
Hey, I got something to mail you out.
Oh, you be careful now, you hear? Before you go and say something you're gonna regret for the rest of your days.
Like what? Like the wrong kid died?
Oh, no!
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of The Wrong Podcast Died. I'm Brian.
And I'm Rod.
And this episode, we're going back to 1989, and we're going to take a trip down to the Double Deuce. We're going to dance to the Healey Band. We're going to throw glass bottles at the stage. What else are we going to do?
Start some fights.
Yeah.
See some naked chicks.
Probably do some drugs.
Get our asses kicked, definitely.
Yeah, definitely get our asses kicked, because we're covering the American action classic, Roadhouse.
Oh my God, Roadhouse! If that DVD even touches Roadhouse, I will kill you.
I started watching the new one with Jake Gyllenhaal. I got like 2 minutes in. I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm turning this shit off.
That might be one of the few remakes I may refuse to ever watch.
I don't know. It might be fine. I've heard people say it's okay, but it's not Patrick Swayze and Roadhouse. And it's funny how the world works. Patrick Swayze actually came up at my work this week.
Really?
Yeah. She's Like the Wind was on the radio.
She's like the wind through my tree. She rides the night.
And one of the nurses was like, who sings that song? And I said, Patrick Swayze. No, he doesn't. I said, yes, he does. You're serious. Yes, I'm dead fucking serious. And so is Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, very dead serious.
So I pulled it up, and there's a clip of him from like a Norwegian pop show. I don't know if you've seen that clip. It's on YouTube, and he's singing the song. And it's a beautiful song. It's for a different movie. It's for Dirty Dancing. It's a good song.
I completely forgot that he did that.
You were so enamored with Roadhouse,
Yeah.
which was released on May 19th in 1989. It premiered in New York and LA, earned $61 million worldwide on a $15 million budget, and probably $14 million of that was spent on blowing shit up at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that or the rights to some of the songs. There's a lot of classic songs there. This is a rated R movie too, so you gotta expect it something from the 80s, rated R.
There's some butt and some nudity, some breast shots, lots of violence, lots of blood, lots of guns and knives and cursing and just a bunch of brawls in the bar.
Here's the crazy thing. I brought this up to you before, but it has a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes. I completely forgot. I thought it was one of those 90-minute action flicks, but this one runs pretty long. There's a lot of drama tied into it.
Yeah, so stars Patrick Swayze as a bouncer named Dalton, and there's a newly refurbished bar. It's going to be refurbished in Missouri. Did you know that? Yeah, it's set in Missouri.
Joslip?
It's got Ben Gazzara.
Gazzara.
Yeah, Gazzara. Kelly Lynch, which is his love interest, and Sam Elliott, who is his friend that's also a bouncer. There's some other bit actors in it. Terry Funk's in it. I think that's who that is, the wrestler, Terry Funk.
He's the bouncer that was the Double Deuce, and then he got fired. I forget how big that guy used to be, and then how we seen him like the 2000s. He lost a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah, he was, significantly older then. Pretty negative reviews from critics. Too violent, sleazy. They didn't like Patrick Swayze's character. They're like, we don't believe he's who he is. Man, and you know what happened since. It's went on to get a cult status. It's got a franchise, sequels, 2006, a remake in 2024, and a stage adaptation of the movie.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
But also some of the other cast in here that we have a star that didn't really get a big part in this named Keith David, and he was the bartender at the end, but we know him from The Thing and They Live, which I found it interesting that he was just put in there because I'm pretty sure those two movies, well, The Thing came out in, what was it, 80?
They were both 80s, so they would have been before this.
Yeah, 83 or 81 or something like that. But, and one that you mentioned, Jeff Healey, he played Cody, but he's an actual singer, like you said. He has the Healey Band, and he's a blind man. He's a blind man that plays the guitar on his lap, and one of his top hits actually came out in 89 also, and it was Angel Eyes. It peaked at number 5 in the U.S.
Forget about that song. Jesus.
The funny thing is, he's a blind man singing about a woman's angel eyes.
But Angel Eyes is Patrick Swayze, right? Or is that Jeff Healey?
That's Jeff Healey, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hell, maybe I don't know. He kind of had that in the movie anyway. I don't know what he's like in real life, but he kind of had that sixth sense because he was like,
The name is Dalton.
you found a copy on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, oh yeah, with 2 discs, so special features and then the movie, and pretty nice.
I thought I had the Vinegar Syndrome Archives edition, but I couldn't find it on my shelf. But yeah, Vinegar Syndrome put out a very limited, I think it was 10,000 copies with like a 40-page book and a beautiful like magnetic clasp outside. You can buy the regular edition on their website still, but that one sold out.
It was expensive too.
It was pretty expensive, yeah, but it was beautiful, just amazing. And like you said, super long movie. Never feels that long.
No.
It kind of drags maybe in certain points, but they pick it right back up.
A couple of the cast members that I found interesting, the director, his name was Rowdy Harrington, and his only other movie that sounded like it was big was called Gladiator, but it was from 1992, and it was a movie starring Cuba Gooding Jr. No Russell Crowe on this one. The last one was a very famous cinematographer, Dean Cundy, who did a lot of John Carpenter stuff because he did Halloween of 1978, The Fog, The Thing. He did all 3 of the Back to the Future movies. He did Jurassic Park and Apollo 13, and that's just the tip because he has over 100 credits.
I wonder if Keith David was like, you got a part for me? And they're like, well, no, not really, unless you want to be the bartender at the end. And he's like, sure, if he had somebody that was a friend or somebody that was connected to the movie. So they're just like, yeah, you just jump in there as this.
Yeah, he probably knew Cundy from that.
Yeah.
That's the only connection I can think of, but I'm sure there was something more to it.
Yeah. The film's soundtrack, there was 14 tracks on the original soundtrack, and it was released as a special collection by Intruder Records in 2012. And then an expanded, limited 31 track score was reissued for the film's 30th anniversary by La La Land Records in 2019. Between VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray streaming sales, Roadhouse has grossed over $203 million since its inception. I mean, DVD in 2003. There was even like 2 features like titles on the Roadhouse and What Would Dalton Do that were like special audio commentaries.
Oh, with Patrick Swayze? Because my copy does not have anything with Patrick Swayze, so it must have came out after his death.
Is yours the Shout Factory?
I don't think so. I didn't see anything with Shout Factory related.
In 2016, Shout Factory released a 2-disc Blu-ray collector's edition. Yeah, and then of course in 2022, November, Vinegar Syndrome released that really, really, really pretty release.
And Patrick Swayze got to see a lot of the success, the cult following, but yeah, we did lose him September 14th of 2009. He was only 57 years old, died of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, that's a really hard one to survive. It usually takes people fast. One of the funniest stories, and if you've not seen Roadhouse, the idea behind Roadhouse is there's this bouncer, his name's Dalton. Everybody thinks he would be bigger. The line throughout the whole damn movie, everybody says,
You know, I thought you'd be bigger.
So he's working at a bar. This man comes and says, hey, I got $5,000 a night. I need you to come clean this place up. He goes down, he cleans the place up, but the richest white man in town pretty much extorts money from everybody in the town, beats his girlfriend, treats people awful, is destroying local businesses.
Got a bunch of goons.
Yeah, he has a bunch of goons, and he goes head to head with Dalton, and lots of murder and mayhem and fights and drinking and all kinds of stuff ensue. Just the longer the movie goes on, the more you hate this guy. By the end of the movie, I hated him. Like, if you needed another reason to hate some rich white guy, just watch this movie. Like, God, I just hated his guts by the end of it. Just nothing redeeming. He even says at one point, there was a picture when...
Yeah, his grandfather.
Because he's trying to buy Dalton off. And he says he was an asshole. And I'm thinking, what are you?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of asshole was he if you thought he was an asshole?
Man, was he Hitler?
Yeah, I don't know. It was all black and white photo, so I don't know what kind of person he was.
Some great action scenes in this.
Oh, yeah.
That was one thing that the director had said, that he wanted to make sure the guys who were going to be fighting knew how to fight, which, I mean, you got Terry Funk in there, so Terry did a lot of his own stunts. There was one where they got a shipment of liquor and the guys are beating the crap out of Patrick, and then Sam Elliott's character comes out, Wade, and he starts fighting with them, but Terry takes a punch. On the commentary that I have, the director says, yeah, nobody else could take a hit like that that and land like that, like a wrestler, which is very true. Wrestlers know how to land.
So I think it was before that, but he did so many of those Texas death matches. And, he went to New Japan and did all those death matches with Mick Foley and Cactus Jack and whoever Mick Foley was going to be that week. So he had a lot of training and stuff. And Dalton carries around his medical records because he's going from town to town,
And he knows how to stitch himself up sometimes if he
Yeah.
can reach it. Yeah, and that medical record's like he had so many broken bones and all kinds of crap.
One of the funniest stories that goes along with this movie that I know. I work at a doctor's office and I have a patient that used to work at a theater back when this movie came out. And he said he was at work and this old lady walks in, older lady, like grandma older, like 70s, 80s, and says, "Are you guys showing that movie?" He says, "We're showing a lot of movies. That one Roadhouse where you can see Patrick Swayze's butt." And he said, "Yes." And he said she turns around because her friends are waiting at the door and opens the door and said, "This is the movie." And these like 4 or 5 older ladies come in and they all buy tickets and they all go watch Roadhouse together just to see Patrick Swayze's ass.
He did Dirty Dancing before this, so now he was very popular. And some of the trivia I found on IMDb was that there was this group of blonde-haired women that were like tracking him down and following him at his trailer and everything. And it was just crazy, like how big he was at this time. If we would have the social media like we did, we would have blown up. We would have been seeing clips of Patrick Swayze all the freaking time.
His ass.
Not just the ones that we see now. Yeah, of his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be Patrick Swayze's ass all day, every day. It'd be cut into everything. She's like the wind would be laid over everybody's prom pictures.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And this movie has some great quotes.
Oh, God.
My favorite is the first one at the beginning where he's addressing the bar staff. He goes, "There's 3 rules. All you have to do is follow 3 simple rules. 1, never underestimate your opponent. Expect the unexpected. 2, take it outside. Never start anything inside the bar unless it's absolutely necessary. And 3, be nice."
What if somebody calls you a cocksucker? Be nice.
I wonder if somebody calls my mama a whore. Is she?
Well, is she? Yeah. He says, "Well, is she?" What was one of the other ones? "Calling me sir is like putting an elevator in an outhouse. It doesn't belong."
Here was one that friends of mine, when we were living together in college, did. And it was from Garrett. He's fighting the goons when the liquor was being delivered. And the goon goes,
"You want to fight, dickless?"
I sure ain't gonna show you my dick.
and my roommates would repeat this freaking line all the freaking time.
First off, that logo at the beginning, that UA logo, that United Artists logo,
yeah.
You know you're in for a good time when that pops up.
Oh, yeah.
One of probably my favorite. I caught myself laughing out loud a couple times during this, and I know I shouldn't be because it's not a comedy. It's a straight action love story, I guess. But when he's talking to the guy about the apartment, the room upstairs, and he said, I had at least, 30 people look at this room in the last month. Maybe it was more. It's got no radio. It's got no TV. It's got no air conditioning. But he said, I got to charge you, as a matter of principle, because if I don't, the Presbyterians down the street will get mad at me or something like that. And he said, how's $100 hit you? And he says, if it keeps you in the good graces of church. Another guy said, funny how money does that. He's like, you can afford it. And he's making $5,000 a night. He can afford $100 a month.
One thing I really loved about this was Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott's rapport.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they were two best friends that really, knew each other before. I don't know if those two ever worked on anything together before this or not, but I loved it when Elliott's character would call him Mijo.
I love you, mijo.
Like son.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like a father or son. I mean, he trained Patrick Swayze's character, so.
And you hate the bad guy. You hate the bad guy's top.
Enforcer.
Yeah, it's enforcer. He just kind of has this sleazy feel to him. I don't know. I thought that the girl that Patrick Swayze falls in love with was related to the big bad for some reason.
Oh, no. They were married.
Well, they weren't. He was interested.
We're going to get married.
We're going to get married. And then she left town because she figured out he's a piece of shit. But for some reason, I went into this thinking they were related. That's why he wanted to kill Dalton. And then I remember,
He's related to the auto shop
Red.
owner, Red.
Yeah, to Red. Yeah. They blow up his shop and they blow up the old guy's house.
And then they take a monster truck through the car dealership.
Yeah. This is like 80s wrestling bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like WWE.
Just doing whatever they want and not taking any consequences.
What else you got? You got anything else? Or you want to do some this or that?
Let's do some this or that.
You want me to go first? I got 2.
Yeah, go ahead, do one, and I'll do mine, and then
How about Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze?
I saw that on my list, but I didn't put it on my list. I have a different one.
Okay, what's yours?
So I have from 1993 Tombstone, with Kurt Russell and the Earp family. So it's kind of loosely based off actual events where the Earp family moved to Tucson, Arizona, and try to make a new life. But then there's a gang called the Cowboys that make sure that they're not going to have a good life.
And then I had one more recommendation. One of your favorite films was Sylvester Stallone, Cobra.
Cobra, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably on your list too.
I just did the one, but yeah, talk about Next of Kin a little bit.
Next of Kin's a Patrick Swayze movie, and I've seen it before. I just can't remember for the life of me what it's about. I think it's his brother's killed.
There's 3 brothers. One of them gets killed, so the 2 come back. I think Patrick Swayze's character wants revenge, but the other one talks him out of it. Then that one who talked him out of it gets killed, and so, he gets his revenge. Interesting thing about this is that Patrick Swayze's actual brother's in it.
Really? He doesn't get killed, does he?
I don't think so. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I just saw it. Because in the end, Roadhouse is about revenge.
Right, yeah. Same thing with Tombstone.
Yeah, they kill Sam Elliott's character. He flips a coin to see who's going to die.
Yeah, between him and the doc.
Yeah, we should flip a coin and see who we should take out on the podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
So now we've heard from our podcast network, let's get to the news. And we're looking at May of 1989. What do you got, Rod?
So on May 7th, Panamanian voters reject dictator Manuel Noriega's bid for presidency.
Say no to Noriega.
Yeah,
they did.
And then on May 10th, General Manuel Noriega, same dude, Panama government nullifies country's election, which the opposition had won by 3-1 margin. So basically what I mean here is that Noriega stepped in and he took the election. He didn't go by the results, basically.
I don't give a fuck what you want. I'm still going to be the president.
He's the general, I guess. He had enough men, I guess, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
May 11th, Kenya announces worldwide ban on ivory to preserve its elephant herds. Because that was a big thing, hunters going on safaris and killing off certain species of elephants.
Well, it's rhinos too, right?
Rhinos too, yeah.
I had a couple news stories. May 1st, the 135-acre Disney's MGM Studio theme park opens to the public in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And then on May 12th, the last graffiti-covered New York City subway car is retired. And then on May 19th, the Dow Jones Industrial Averages passes 2,500 for the first time as it closes at $2,501.01. What is the Dow Jones at the time of this recording?
I have no clue.
42,801. So if you had money in the Dow Jones in 1989 and you let it sit there, probably have a lot of money now. And you're probably a rich motherfucker that's running the town. So we don't like you.
During that same month, there was a big thing about 2 of the major countries in the world, China and the USSR, because on May 13th, approximately 2,000 students began a hunger strike in Tiananmen Square, China, to force a dialogue with the government ahead of a visit by Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. And then on the 15th, Gorbachev visits Beijing for the first Sino-Soviet summit in 30 years. So they meet a couple days later. Then the next day, on the 16th, the Soviet president and Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping meet in Beijing and formally end the 30-year rift. So, I mean, this is a whole big thing because on the 20th, China declares martial law in Beijing. So evidently the people didn't like that Gorbachev was there and visiting and having talks and stuff.
Well, and then that's the famous video where the tanks roll through Tiananmen Square, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Because then on the 25th, Gorbachev, he became the elected executive president in the Soviet Union. So, I mean, it's a whole thing in May with those two countries, and it's not a good time at that point.
What's next? Movies?
I have a couple little things on news. On May 17th, Nelson Mandela received a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of South Africa. Nelson Mandela being a very good guy and helped stop apartheid in South Africa. On May 26th, the Danish parliament allowed same-sex marriage. So it was like probably one of the first countries to make it popular for same-sex marriage.
I don't know that they made it popular. They just allowed it.
Well, they allowed it. I mean,
I don't think they're like, everybody go do it. It's fun. Like they're just saying you can do it. And I mean, 1989, that's still an issue in the United States, right?
kind of, sort of, but I think most states allow it. I don't know if there's a state that doesn't allow it.
I was joking with a friend that we have, and I was like, why would anybody want to be married? Why did people see, oh, marriage looks so fun, let's do that?
So movies, I have the top 5 movies of that week. Number 1 was See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Number 2 was
Roadhouse.
Number 3 was Field of Dreams with Costner. Number 4 was K9. And then one of our favorite genre, horror, finally got into there. Number 5 was Pet Sematary.
I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. I don't want to live my life again.
Yeah, I know in May, Field of Dreams was released. You know, it's Burt Lancaster's final film role, but it stars Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, Ray Liotta. It's based on the novel Shoeless Joe. I didn't know it was based on the novel. And at the 42nd Cannes Film Festival, Sex, Lies, and Videotapes, directed by Steven Soderbergh, wins the Palmar d'Or. I don't know, whatever that is.
Order.
Yeah. May 24th, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is released.
And it wouldn't be The Last Crusade either.
No, was it?
It's a lie. There would be 2 other films after that where you had Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in 2008 and then The Dial of Destiny that just came out 2023.
And then Do the Right Thing was directed by Spike Lee. It premieres at Cannes Film Festival in May of that year. So what else you got for movies?
So the horror movies of 1989, I didn't get them all. I just put in the ones that I remember fondly. 976 Evil, Chud 2, Bud the Chud, The Church.
You mean Demons 3?
Yeah, The Church, Demons 3, yeah. The Fly 2, and it always seemed to be a movie with this franchise, or 2 of these franchises in there. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. The second franchise, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, was released. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. There was Intruder that had both Sam and Ted Raimi in it. Leviathan, one of the biggest full moon series, Puppet Master. Wes Craven's Shocker, Society, and then Warlock.
I was almost on Intruder as my favorite, and then you said Shocker.
Yeah.
I don't know. We did watch Puppet Master last year outside on the patio, so that was fun. Finley and I watched it on our projector outside.
Oh, nice.
Probably Intruder's probably the best one, but Shocker's just so much fun.
I think Shocker's probably more known than Intruder.
Oh, for sure.
Intruder's just kind of getting a recent release, or there was a release, but nobody really heard about it until recently, I think.
Yeah, and that one's got some great kills, some great gore, some fun cameos. I think it's fun. How scary would it be to be stuck in a grocery store right now with the prices of food?
Yeah. I've been stuck in Walmart because of natural disasters.
Have you?
Floods.
Hell, every time I got to go to Walmart, it's a natural disaster.
Yeah.
What do you got for TV?
TV, number 1 was tied between The Cosby Show and Roseanne.
Totally different ends of the spectrum on those shows.
Yeah.
Lord.
Rich black family and a semi-middle class white family.
Oh, they were poor. They barely paid their bills most episodes.
Number 3 was Cheers. Number 4, A Different World. Number 5, America's Funniest Home Videos.
Number 6 was The Golden Girls. Number 7 was 60 Minutes. Number 8 was The Wonder Years. Empty Nest was number 9. You remember that show? Empty Nest?
A little, but I don't even remember who was in it.
Yeah. And number 10 was Monday Night Football. Still sneaking in the top 10. And I threw a number 11 on there because it's pretty horror adjacent. Unsolved Mysteries.
For every mystery, there is someone, somewhere, who knows the truth. Perhaps that someone is watching. Perhaps it's you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I had some TV news also. May 11th, the 217th and final episode of TV soap opera Dynasty aired. On May 12th, Entertainment Tonight makes its 2000th TV performance. I don't remember Entertainment Tonight until the 90s. Do you?
It was on. Wasn't that John Tesh and I can't remember his co-host name.
I would assume maybe those roles changed, and I don't know. I just don't remember it from when I was younger. On May 14th, the final TV episode of Family Ties aired on NBC with a 36 million audience. And then May 20th, this is the oddest thing I found. Toonces, the cat, takes the wheel on Saturday Night Live. So basically, it was a cat that they ended up making a puppet of. He was a cat that drove a car. So originally, it aired with Steve Martin, but later Dana Carvey took over that role, and it had Victoria Jackson. And they play a couple who allow their pet cat, Toonces, to drive their car. Toonces subsequently would always drive the car off a cliff. And this was a big thing on Saturday Night Live.
The other show that was its final episode on May 14th was a little show called Moonlighting. Remember Moonlighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis. That's a big chunk of TV shows ending in May. I mean, Dynasty, Family Ties, and Moonlighting. That's a huge audience for the 36 million people.
The end of the 80s, and then you go into the 90s where America's Funniest Home Videos continues. TV changed a little bit, but not a whole lot.
What did you got for music? What was the number one song?
Number one in the U.S., Forever Your Girl by Paula Abdul.
Hey, baby, you got to remember, forever your girl.
Hey, baby. What about in Britain?
In the UK, I had Ferry Cross the Mersey. It was by like Paul McCartney. So on May 8th, Paul McCartney releases remake of Ferry Cross the Mersey, so it was a song before that. And it was in the aid of those affected by the Hillsborough disaster, which claimed the lives of 96 Liverpool football fans. On April 15th of 1989, Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield, England, during a FA Cup semifinal match between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, a stampede resulted in the deaths of 97 people.
Yeah, so they released this song to help the families and to provide some aid to the loved ones of the 96 people that were killed in this horrific accident. I mean, you hear a lot about how crazy they are in England about their football.
Soccer, yep.
It's soccer, yeah, but it's football. And it was just a tragic event, so a lot of the people in England, singers, songwriters came together to release this song to help, the families of the people that were affected. So that's music and sport. That kind of blurred the lines between the two for this show, because that's what I had on sports, that they had released that. Some of the other music, one of your favorites, May 2nd, Killin' Time, the debut album of Clint Black, is released, and it was the 1990 Billboard Album of the Year. And then on May 24th, Weird Al records 3 tracks for his UHF movie soundtrack. So UHF was coming at some point.
Yeah, early 90s, I think.
And of course, before Forever Your Girl, there was Like a Prayer by Madonna. In April, and then early in May, I'll Be There For You by Bon Jovi. So several songs that you know and probably hear if you listen to 80s light rock radio or 80s radio. Pretty decent time for music. You have any of the other number ones?
Yeah, the number one country was If I Had You by Alabama. Number one R&B was Start of a Romance by Sky with 2 Y's, not just one. Number one alternative was Fascination Street by The Cure. Never heard of it. I know The Cure. And then the number one dance track was We Call It a Side/Trance Dance by D-Mob featuring Gary Haseman. I have freaking no clue.
You play that in the fucking shower every morning and dance. What are you talking about? No, you're like...
I do safety dance.
Oh, do you?
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.
I thought maybe you like turned the lights out and had like the batons that glow in the dark. No?
Nah.
What about sports?
May 19th, I had New York Mets Kevin Elster errors after 88 errorless games at shortstop, and the New York Mets Rick Cerrone also errors after 159 errorless games as catcher.
Erring bastards.
I mean, that's kind of a long period of time to not have an error in baseball, right? I mean,
yeah, well, the 159, yeah, it was pretty long. On May 5th, Mike Tyson gets his second speeding ticket for drag racing in Albany, New York. Of course, we talked about the release of the Ferry Cross the Mercy for those affected by the disaster. On May 21st, LPGA Championship, women's golf, the Jack Nicklaus Classic. I don't know why. Nancy Lopez wins her third championships by 3 strokes. On the Stanley Cup Final, on May 25th, the Calgary Flames beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-2, and the win series 4-2, and it was the Flames' first Stanley Cup Final. Do you know what the Stanley Cup looks like?
Absolutely no clue.
You have no clue.
It's a big giant trophy.
Originally, it was just like a big, looks almost like a sow ball, and then they started adding rings onto it because they put every player's name on the trophy. It's engraved, and as the rings fill, it goes to the NHL Hall of Fame, so they put another ring on there. It's the oldest trophy in North American sports. It's probably also the most beautiful. They carry it out every year. They wear white gloves and suits to carry it out to the ice, and then the players take turns going around the ice with it, skating around, and then they get turns to take it home and spend the day with the Stanley Cup. I don't know if they get a day or 2 or whatever, and they take it to their family. Some eat cereal out of it. Some of them drink beer out of it. It's just a cool...
Hockey's a very trusting sport.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if it was an NFL, you'd never see that trophy again.
Yeah, well, remember when, was it Tom or Gronk had the Lombardi trophy and they like threw it and it got all dented up because they were on boats drinking?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Gronk.
I used to be really into hockey. It's really hard to watch now if you don't have cable. And even then, I mean, my mom's boyfriend loves the Blackhawks and he has like 400 channels and he gets like 2 or 3 games a year. So it's just hard to watch.
I had some baseball news in the Midwest. On the 13th, Minnesota Twins Kirby Puckett became the 35th to hit 4 doubles in a game. And then the next day on the 14th, Kirby went on and became the first player to hit 6 doubles across 2 consecutive games since St. Louis Cardinal Red Schaudendice in 1948.
Yeah, and then on the May 28th in the Indianapolis 500, Emerson Fittipaldi of Brazil is the first foreign winner since 1966, which is interesting because I always kind of felt like Formula One was more of an international sport than NASCAR. Yeah, he won it under caution. I haven't watched NASCAR lately. I was always more of a Formula One fan. I like the road tracks, and I felt it was more racing than NASCAR. I don't know. I'm sure they're both very difficult. I know sometimes I can't make it to work without running into another car. So
on May 23rd, the Cleveland Indians lose and drop to 21-22, which was the first time an AL East team was under 500 and was number 1 in the conference.
No, so all the other teams suck too?
Or is it division?
Yeah, they're divisions.
That was just on May 23rd because eventually, they start winning more, but that's never happened before where you had a losing team have the number 1 spot.
But they were still 40-some games into the season, so they were a fourth of the way through because there's 162 games. So they were, what'd you say, 21-20?
21-22. So they were game under 500.
Yeah, they're 40-some games into the season, so they're a fourth of the way through. Usually teams are figuring it out by then.
This is the time where the Braves were pretty much the top of the whole MLB, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the Indians would have been in the American League. Well, and the Braves only won 1 World Series, though. They were kind of like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
The Braves were good every year. They went to several. They just only won 1.
Last piece of sports news that I had was on May 24th, New York Yankee pitcher Lee Gutterman sets record of pitching 30 2/3 innings before giving up his first run of the season. That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. That would be, if he pitched the whole game, it would be 4 straight games without giving up a run. But especially nowadays, they don't pitch 5-6 innings. It seems like max. There's most guys don't even go past the 6th inning, I think, anymore. Back then, you'd get some guys that would go 9 or complete games, but that'd be 4 games without giving up a run and to start the season.
You got some toy news?
Yeah. Kind of hard to find some of the toy news in the late 80s. I don't know why. In late 88, which was before this, but Ghostbusters toys are popular. And then Nintendo, you can get a complete Nintendo, including 2 games for $100.
Yeah. Remember what those 2 games were?
Well, wasn't it Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers?
And Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Super Mario Brothers. That fucking dog.
Wish you could shoot him.
Yeah, I tried.
April 21st of 1989, the Nintendo Game Boy was released. And then later that year, August 14th, Sega Genesis was released.
We played more Sega probably than we did Nintendo.
I couldn't afford either one, so.
No, I didn't have one either. My friends had one.
Couple popular girl toys. They didn't come out that year, but they were still popular then. The My Little Pony dolls and then the Polly Pocket were very popular. And then some of the Barbie dolls that were coming out that year was Evening Enchantment Barbie, Wet and Wild Barbie, which would take a new tone these days. So it was the 80s.
And there was some Simpsons toys. Of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was popular. The Super Soaker, the squirt guns were popular. My Pretty Ballerina, I saw that and I was like, was that a Barbie or was it just another doll?
It was some other doll, I think.
And one of these days we're going to have to get Rod to share his My Little Pony collection because we all know he's a brony even though he won't tell us he is.
Yeah. I got some births. May 11th, football player Cam Newton, American football player, the Heisman Trophy winner in 2010 from Auburn. He got the NFL MVP in 2015. He was in the Pro Bowl 2011, 2013, 2015. Played for the Carolina Panthers pretty much his whole career. Was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and I do not like this guy.
You don't like Cam Newton?
No, he's a commentator now, and he seems to think that he belongs in the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, and he didn't really do much.
I don't know. I mean, he took a pretty crappy team to the Super Bowl. He had decent stats. I don't know.
He took him like once.
No, that's a lot more than some people have been to the Super Bowl, so. I mean,
still waiting for that Detroit Lions.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. On May 14th, American football tight end, one we were talking about not too long ago, Gronk, was born in Amherst, New York.
Rob Gronkowski. He played for the New England Patriots, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, won several Super Bowls with Tom Brady, even had a show on Nickelodeon at one point that was kind of like...
Did he?
Yeah, it was kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos. It was a clip show. It was fun. And he's a commentator now, I think.
On May 29th, Riley Koff, who is an American actress and model, she's the granddaughter of Elvis Presley. She was born in Santa Monica, California.
Know anything she's been in?
No, I have no clue.
I didn't have any life or death or birth or any of that stuff.
I got plenty of death.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. May 9th, country star Keith Whitley. Some of the songs that he had, one of the big ones was Don't Close Your Eyes. He died of alcohol poisoning at 33.
Wow.
Yeah. May 12th, Ron Wilson, the American drummer and percussionist of the Safaris, played the song Wipeout. Dies of a brain aneurysm at 44.
Wow, Jesus. That's the same Wipeout song that Fat Boys made popular?
Sure, they made it popular. On May 16th, Hassan Khalid, Sheikh of Lebanon, was murdered with a 300-pound car bomb, which was detonated next to his car as he drove through Beirut. Syrian intelligence widely believed to be behind the assassination. Khalid had been a critic of the Syrian intervention in Lebanon. So,
and 300 pounds? Who the hell were they? What the God? They trying to blow up the whole damn city?
Yeah, it probably took at least a block or two out.
I guess. Shit.
And one of the, maybe a little sadder, May 20th, Gilda Radner was an American comedian and actress for Saturday Night Live through 1975 to 1980. She was in the movie Haunted Honeymoon. She died of ovarian cancer at 42, so very young too.
Mm-hmm. And there's actually a Gilda's Club in the Quad Cities, close to where I live. They support ovarian cancer research and other stuff.
Wasn't she dating or married to John Belushi too?
I think they dated early on. If I remember right, she was Gene Wilder's, like the guy that played Willy Wonka.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the love of his life, and he just was never the same after her death.
Well, we'll try to make it a little happier note. I got some bar jokes.
No, some bar jokes? Okay.
Yeah, bar jokes.
Hit me with them.
Why did the skeleton get in a bar fight?
He had a bone to pick.
Because he couldn't hold his liquor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Last one. What does violent diarrhea and a bar fight have in common?
No idea.
Blood on your stool.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That was kind of nasty.
Yeah. Where are you finding these?
Oh, just look on the internet.
Or don't. Don't look on the internet. If you do look on the internet, though, like and subscribe to I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast wherever you get your podcast. Follow the podcast on all of our socials. Come and check out the main show, the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast. The Wrong Podcast Died. Our YouTube channel where you can see Salute the Shorts, Let's Get Physical, clips from the show. What else is on there?
You mentioned Indie Spotlight?
No, I'm getting there. I was trying to figure out what all was on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't even know. He's on the show and he doesn't even know. Indie Spotlight. I think that's it. I think that's all we got, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Appendages.
Of course, I don't know, but...
Well, he doesn't know. I don't know why I'm asking him. He don't know. It's like asking the guy that delivers the alcohol to the Double Deuce. They don't know. Because for a while there, they couldn't even get any.
Yeah, and you let all the bottles get smashed.
Yeah. And we'll see you at the movies.
See you at the movies. Hey, Clint, I love you. But until next time.
I'm going to get a drink.
That marks the end of our broadcast day here at The Wrong Podcast Died. Our transmission is powered by a frequency of 800 watts. We will resume our usual programming in 2 weeks. Until then, we bid you good night.